With the 2001 federal election fast approaching, the global resources of the Chaser media empire has swung into action. Our first target, the Aston by-election in mid-July.
Hello and welcome to the Election Chaser, live from the National Tally Room in Canberra. I'm Craig Rucastle and I'm joined as always by our election analyst Julian Morrow and our political commentator Chris Taylor.
Thanks, Craig. Over the next few weeks our team will take you behind the scenes of this election to give you information you don't need to vote for people you don't want.
On tonight's show we start with the Prime Minister.
When did I vote?
We offer opposition leader Kim Beazley group sex.
This is a wild campaign.
And Channel 7's Glenn Milne is not amused. We find out why.
Well, it's been just 4 weeks since the Aston by-election and only 4 months to go now until the federal election. The tally room here is all set to go, so let's have a look at some results, starting with Aston. Julian, can we bring up some figures there, please?
Sorry, I'll just close that. Yeah, this is the Aston result. And with 100% of the vote counted, I'm calling Aston for the Liberals.
No, I wouldn't be prepared to concede that on those figures.
Well, let's have a look at some other figures then. Some other seats, Julian?
No.
No other seats?
No.
Well, let's take a look at Aston. Julian, what does this mean?
OK, well, here's the Aston result now. And if the Liberals repeated that performance nationally, this is how it'd look.
Food for thought there. What do you make of that, Chris?
Yeah, well, certainly some very encouraging signs there for the coalition.
Yeah, well, clearly on those figures it's going to be a big task for Kim Beazley. But does he have the discipline to become the Prime Minister? We sent Charles Firth out to put him to the test.
The Chaser ticker test. Subject, Kim Beazley. Weakness, food. Can the Labor leader survive a doorstop interview without needing a snack? Test item 1, hot buttered corn.
How it can respond. It's not... It is not that hard.
Fail. Test item 2, a delicious drumstick. Fail. Test item 3, wholesome French bread. Initial resistance, but what about if we add dip? Fail. The ticker test results speak for themselves. Result, no ticker. Kim Beazley, how can he control the country when he can't control himself?
All you got to do is smoke daily. I'm only smoking here because I'm having a drink and I can't go 4 or 5 hours without a smoke.
Now, just getting back to that Beazley ticker test footage, which we saw a little bit earlier, there was this fantastic moment behind the scenes involving Channel 7's Glenn Milne. Have you got the footage there?
Yes.
Here we are. Now, there is Glenn Milne wearing that enormous overcoat, even though it's about 20 degrees down in Aston. He's dressed for Washington. Now, he starts by asking Charles a question.
Who are you?
Well, we're from the Chaser. That is a fairly common reaction, it has to be said.
Yeah.
And then Charles starts pursuing him here. He starts asking him, you know, how his career's going, who he's interviewed.
Has he broken his story since Threadbow?
Whether he... I think it was his enormous ego which caused the landslide in Threadbow. Anyway, then right at the end here, this is beautiful, he starts walking towards us and lets us know exactly what he thinks. Ooh! Yeah. Well, we were so perplexed by Glenn Milne's behaviour that we've decided to start a competition which we've called What's Up Glenn Milne's Arse. If you have any suggestions as to what might be up Glenn Milne's arse...
And remember, there may be more than one thing.
...then you can email them to us here at milne.arse@chaser.com.au.
Understanding Policy, Part 1, Tax. Liberal policy is to promise income tax cuts. Labor policy is to promise GST cuts. Both parties agree neither has the money to do either. Result, tax cuts will have to be paid for by raising taxes.
Welcome back to the National Tally Room. Now to the darker side of the campaign. It's a little-known fact, but in each election, there are actually more losers than there are winners.
Well, that's right, isn't it? A lot of people forget that, don't they? A lot of people run for office, but there can only ever be one winner. In fact, Julian, has the computer got any statistics on that win-loss ratio?
Yes, Chris. I've done an analysis of elections since 1901, and if you look at the number of losers, you'll see that the number of winners is much smaller.
Yes, well, to join us and help with this problem is another member of the Chaser team, Chaz Licciardello, something of an expert on losers.
Yeah, but I don't like to call them losers, Craig. I prefer to think of them as electorally unsuccessful.
Now, Chaz, you were down in Aston with the rest of us on election night as some of those results were starting to trickle in. What did you do about the fact that it was such a tight election and so many potential losers?
Yeah, there was a lot of need there, Chris. And that's why I tried to break the news to the candidates about their setback in a gentler, more compassionate way.
Hi, I'm the Losergram. How are ya? I know I'm pretty early, but who are we kidding, okay? Now I got a song. At first I was afraid, I was petrified, thinking you could never win with Beasley on your side. Let's play for advance. We got Chris Pierce. I'm the Losergram. Thank you very much. Did you run? It's no surprise just how it Wait, what? Sorry. I love you, Ashton. I'm the Losergram. Is Pierre in the house? Pierre! That you'd win today. I laughed at them and I said no way. You never stood even half a chance. That's why I'm here doing the loser dance. That is why, you stopped it. Must admit, you fucked it. That is why, you stopped it. Must admit, you fucked it. Oh, hang on, sorry, one more verse.
I really can't speak. I'm really trying to speak.
Hi, I'm Trish.
And I'm Brenda. And we're from the Greens.
Let us tell you what we stand for.
At the Greens, we stand for forests, trees and miscellaneous shrubbery.
We believe this broad policy platform gives us the right to debate and block the national agenda.
On this election day, give your vote to the Greens.
But don't use ballot paper because it just uses up the trees.
Written and spoken by those two just then. I need to speak really fast because we only had money for a 20-second slot.
Back in the National Tally Room in Canberra on this very important night.
Now, one of the things that really shocked me down at Aston was when the Prime Minister let himself be interviewed by political journalist Denise Drysdale.
Yeah, also known as Ding Dong.
I also saw that very interview. I know what you're talking about. And I was sitting there watching it at home thinking, why would Howard's Minders put him on Denise? And isn't their whole job to set him up on lightweight programs so he looks good?
Well, that was suicide.
I mean, it's such a risky program to go on. She's brought down governments on that show.
She brought down Whitlam. And I mean, I think she was the reason Houston didn't get up as well.
That's true.
I mean, it was quite amazing, and no doubt they were regretting it when Denise grilled the Prime Minister.
Oh, have you got a cat that's 13?
Yes.
I've got Fluffy Bum, she's 9, and Patchy's 16.
Honeycomb's a veteran. It was with Fluffy.
So where does she live, in Canberra? Or...
In Kirribilli.
Oh. Could I bring my cats up to visit Honeycomb? I'd love it up there.
Oh, what a bloodbath.
She absolutely ate him alive in there. Had him on the ropes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Denise has done it again, hasn't she? Unbelievable.
And I think the matter of who should moderate the great debates now is absolutely settled. I mean, just look at Ding Dong right there.
Such a big story like that, and your Kerry O'Brien's, your Laurie Oakes, nowhere to be seen, basically.
Well, they just dropped it.
They dropped it, didn't they? Yeah, Minders got hold of them. Well, this story could have disappeared had it not been for the brave work of journalists such as Ding Dong and our own Chris Taylor.
Mr. Howard, you promised Denise Drysdale this morning that Honeycomb would meet Fluffy Bum. Will you stand by that promise?
When did I what?
Mr. Howard, your cat Honeycomb.
Oh, yes.
You promised it would meet Fluffy Bum. Will you stand by that promise? Fluffy Bum wants answers.
Well, I'll consult Honeycomb.
The Election Chaser, asking the hard questions.
Part of our coverage of the Aston by-election, the Chaser went on the road with John Howard and met with him at a community centre in Rowville.
That's right. The Prime Minister was going to address a group of pensioners, Liberal Party faithful, and gee, there were problems down there because the Prime Minister was a couple of hours late. Now, obviously, in a closely fought election, you just can't afford to keep old people waiting like that.
They could die at any second, basically.
Absolutely. So I did what I think anyone would have done. I decided to lend a hand and warm up the crowd for the Prime Minister.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, please. As you know, the Prime Minister was going to be here at 10 o'clock. He hasn't done a backflip on that. He will be here. You've just got to add the 10% to that. Should be here by about 11. And 10 o'clock was a non-core promise. So don't worry, he will be back. He's landed, he's on his way. So what we'd like to do now is get people ready to speak to the Prime Minister. So when he comes in, I want to see you really, you know, bouncing, ready to go. Big cheers for the Prime Minister. A few key points to remember. Every time you hear the word Liberal, I want to see a bit of a clap, okay? Can we try that? Liberal. When you hear the word GST, a bit more of a clap, a bit more. When we hear the word Beasley, okay? Towards the end of the show, it's really going to get exciting. There's going to be some big promises made. No core commitments on whether they'll be kept, but there will be big promises. So what I want to see towards the end of the speech is a bit of a wave, okay? So I'd like to see, starting from the left-hand side, hands up in the air, okay? So we start from the left, and over we come to the right. Yes! Oh, look, that's just fantastic. That's going to set this electorate on fire. Thanks for your time.
But despite my good work, the Liberals weren't at all grateful.
But I apologise very sincerely. It's unfortunately somebody who's obviously got past security. I'm very sorry for that.
I don't know why they didn't like you there, Julian. I was talking to the old people and they just loved you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I reckon I'll get more work out of it, actually.
I think you will. And I'll tell you what, your mention of more money from the Prime Minister really fired them up. You're looking forward to the Prime Minister coming?
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's good, isn't it? Have you met him before?
No, I haven't.
No, this is the first time?
I saw him with Denise yesterday.
You saw him with Denise yesterday? Oh, that was pretty cutting stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Oh, yes.
No, it was excellent. I hear he might be handing out like $300 or so. If you get a bit closer, you might...
It's my lucky day.
I think so. I think he likes to give that money out. So
I'd like to take it, but not today.
Not today?
Put it in your funds.
Put it in your funds?
Put it in your funds.
Oh, in my funds?
No, the Liberal funds.
I'll put it in the Liberal funds. I'm not from the Liberal Party. No.
How did you get in here?
How did I get in here?
Yes.
I just came through the door. Are only Liberal people allowed in here?
I hope so.
You hope so? You've done well to get this close to the front.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We came quite early.
You came early, yeah.
Because I knew very well that it's very hard to get parking space.
Yeah, it's hard to get parking, isn't it? Yeah, no, definitely. But also, it's you know, the closer you are, the more likely that when the money starts flying, you'll be able to grab it, hey? Yeah. You're looking forward to this?
Oh, yes.
Good speech. You've seen the Prime Minister speak before?
Oh, yes, he's a very good, a great, eloquent speaker.
Very.
Without any notes, 14 minutes later, you're still listening to...
We've never shirked responsibility to try and change things, even if there's a short-term difficulty.
Got it? Did you get the money?
No.
Oh.
Only a handshake.
You didn't get the money? Come on, back in there.
Understanding Policy, Part 2, Education. The major parties have very different education policies. Labor's is called Knowledge Nation, whereas the Liberals is called Knowledge Society. Liberal policy is to give more money to private schools because that's where their children are enrolled. Labor policy is to give more money to public schools to help ease their guilt that they send their children to private schools too.
New for the whole family, it's the Knowledge Nation board game. Fun for everyone from the mind of Barry Jones.
According to the periodic table, which of strontium or yttrium has the greater molecular value?
And what's this? An Australian's left to work overseas? It's okay, it was only Jonathan Coleman. The Knowledge Nation board game comes with easy-to-read instructions. The Knowledge Nation board game. In stores now, all for the low cost of... Well, we haven't actually costed it yet. Actual game may take up to 10 years to complete.
Welcome back to the National Tally Room. It's almost time for us to leave you tonight.
Just very quickly, Craig, before we do wrap it up, we have been asked by the ABC to make sure we haven't given too much airtime to one party over the other, so I'm afraid we will have to check the balance. Jules, how are you measuring it?
Yep, we're 15 seconds down on Liberal.
Oh, OK, we will have to address that, I'm afraid. So, yep, the Liberal one.
And I think that'll just about do it. Yes, we've got the all clear from the ABC board, so thanks for joining us. That's all from us here at the election chase. We'll leave you with some scenes from Aston where the losergram meets with the Greens. Good night.
Hey, I'm the losergram. Is Mick around? No. Hey, Mick, this one's for you, buddy. It's been a year since you last shaved. I'm not sure that you know how to bathe. You worry so much about your trees, but you're the one who needs to be saved. Your chances here were so remote that I'm really amazed that you got one vote. Hell, you greenish sure can toss. How big was your loss? Was your loss? How big was your loss? You must be so ashamed, 'cause you rocked up on national TV, dressed as a bear, but all you proved in the end is that you have got no friends. Congratulations! Congratulations, Mick. Well done. Well
Thanks
done.
for the ringing endorsement.
No problems. Thanks for booking early, by the way. Hey! Thanks for the merchandise. Thanks for booking early. We appreciate it. All right. And you did well. You lost the pride, sank like a stone. Well done.